What if I told you that the reason you feel stuck, unmotivated, and directionless isn't because you lack talent or opportunity, but because you're measuring your life against the wrong standard? My most powerful life advice cuts through the noise of self-help culture and gets to the uncomfortable truth. You're probably comparing yourself to people you don't actually know, chasing goals that aren't truly yours, and avoiding the one strategy that could actually transform your existence. And here's the controversial part. The solution isn't to dream bigger or think more positively. It's to start smaller, aim lower, and embrace the reality that you're probably doing everything wrong right now. If you're the kind of person who's tired of generic advice that sounds good but changes nothing, then make sure to subscribe to this channel. We're diving deep into the principles that actually move the needle in your life, not the surface-level motivation that fades by Tuesday. Let's start with the most uncomfortable truth. There's danger in comparing yourself to others, period. And not just because it makes you feel bad, that's obvious. The real danger is that you're comparing your messy, complicated, three-dimensional reality to someone else's carefully curated highlight reel. You see their shiny exterior, their accomplishments, their Instagram-perfect life. What you don't see is the reality behind that facade. Maybe you're scrolling through social media, watching someone speed down the coast in a convertible, living what looks like your dream life, and you think, what a lucky person, they've got it all figured out. But here's what most people miss. That person might be thinking about wrapping their expensive car around the next cement pillar they pass. You simply cannot know what someone else is carrying. You don't know their struggles, their silent battles, their hidden burdens. And even if they do have an easier life than you, even if they genuinely are happier and more successful, comparing yourself to them is still fundamentally useless. Why? Because they're not you. They don't have your family history, your unique temperament, your specific abilities, or your particular challenges. The only person who has all of those variables is you, which means the only valid comparison is between who you are today and who you were yesterday. This isn't just feel-good philosophy. This is the only way to measure actual improvement. You can tell when you're a little bit better than you were yesterday. That's something concrete, something real, something you can actually track. And here's the beautiful part. You can do this every single day. Not every moment, perhaps, but certainly every day you can make yourself marginally better in some dimension. Think about what this means practically. Instead of looking at someone who's in perfect shape and feeling defeated because you're not there yet, you ask yourself, am I in slightly better shape than I was yesterday? Did I do one more push-up? Did I walk an extra block? Instead of comparing your career to someone 10 years ahead of you, you ask, am I more skilled, more knowledgeable, more capable than I was last month? This is a game you can actually win. The other game, the comparison game, is rigged against you. There will always be someone smarter, richer, better looking, more successful. Always. If you're measuring yourself against an endless parade of people who are ahead of you in various dimensions, you're guaranteeing your own misery. But here's where this advice gets even more practical. He talks about the importance of having problems worth solving. And this might sound counterintuitive in a culture obsessed with ease and comfort, but it's profound. The more serious problems you take on, the more reason you have to get out of bed in the morning, no matter what else is happening in your life. When you have something that truly needs to be done, something necessary, something that matters beyond your immediate comfort, you develop a sense of purpose that becomes an antidote to bitterness. You're not just trudging through life, managing your own little anxieties. You're moving towards something, building something, solving something. And that forward momentum, that sense of contribution, fundamentally changes how you experience existence. Now let's talk about something most people avoid, the cost of doing nothing. People tend to think that whatever they're doing right now is risk-free, and that all the risks are in the potential changes they might make. This is completely backward. Whatever you're doing right now has all sorts of risks. You're just blind to them because you've become habituated. They've become invisible. If you stay in a job you hate, there's a cost. If you maintain relationships that drain you, there's a cost. If you avoid developing skills because learning is uncomfortable, there's a cost. These costs compound daily, but because they're familiar, you don't register them as risks. Meanwhile, you treat potential improvements as terrifyingly risky simply because they're unfamiliar. Here's some radical suggestion. Make your criteria for success razor sharp. Don't keep yourself in the fog where you can't tell when you've screwed up. Yes, having clear standards means you'll know every time you fail, but that's actually great, because then you can fix it. You can adjust. You can iterate. Compare that to stumbling blindly, failing repeatedly, but never quite acknowledging it because you've never defined what success looks like. This connects to another crucial piece of advice. You need to aim at something. It doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, it shouldn't be perfect. Make a bad plan. Make the best plan you can, but don't obsess over it. Implement it. You'll quickly figure out why it's flawed, and then you can fix it. Then you'll find more flaws, and you can fix those too. This iterative process beats perfectionism every single time. Many people never start because they're waiting for the perfect plan, the perfect moment, the perfect circumstances. Meanwhile, life is happening, time is passing, and they're accumulating nothing. No data, no experience, no progress. Just launch with an imperfect plan and let reality teach you. The corrections you make along the way are far more valuable than the hypothetically perfect plan you never implement. If you're finding value in this breakdown of life philosophy, and you want more content that challenges conventional thinking while giving you actionable strategies, don't forget to subscribe. We're only halfway through, and the second half gets even more practical. Let's get specific about what you should actually focus on, especially if you're in your 20s or 30s and feeling overwhelmed by all the contradictory advice out there. Let's break it down into surprisingly straightforward categories. First, physical health. Are you in decent shape? Are you strong and coordinated? If not, you need to fix this. Not for vanity, though that's fine too, but because you'll feel better, be more effective, live longer, and be sick less often. People who've been in shape at least once in their life age dramatically better. And here's something most people don't know. Exercise is one of the few proven methods to maintain cognitive ability. Those brain training apps you see advertised? There's no evidence they work. But cardiovascular exercise and weightlifting, those actually preserve your mental sharpness. Your fluid intelligence starts declining around age 25. It's a linear downward trend that can accelerate as you age. Exercise staves that off. So if you care about staying sharp, staying capable, staying mentally present as you age, physical fitness isn't optional, it's fundamental. Second, substance use. This is uncomfortable territory. How do you know if you're drinking too much? You regret what you do when you're drinking, it's interfering with your goals, it's causing financial problems, it's creating friction with friends, family, or legal authorities. If any of these apply, you have a problem. Stop minimizing it. Stop rationalizing it. Address it. Third, relationships. Maintain them. Foster them. Expand them. When you look at genuinely successful people, a pattern emerges. They're competent at something meaningful, they're reliable, they're generous, and they're embedded in a wide and deep network of relationships. That network becomes more valuable as you age. It's one of the few advantages older people have over younger people. Being connected to well-connected people effectively connects you to the wider world. That's not exaggeration, it's how networks function. And here's something most people miss about relationships. Be careful who you share good news with. You want to share success with people who are genuinely happy for you. Be equally careful about who you share bad news with. You want people who will listen when you're struggling, who will allow you your grief without trying to fix you or minimize your experience. Fourth, develop philosophical sophistication. This sounds abstract, but it's intensely practical. A deeper understanding of life reveals something counterintuitive. Doing things for other people is often more rewarding than almost anything you can do purely for yourself. Test it. Do something that genuinely helps someone else and pay attention to how satisfying it is. The depth of that satisfaction often surprises people. If you want a life that feels meaningful and rich, being useful to others is not naive. it's strategic. Now, here's where things get especially important. Motivation isn't random. It's tied to personality and values. Different people are driven by different things. Some are motivated by social connection, others by intimacy, others by competition, creativity, or security. These are different motivational engines, and you need to understand which ones actually drive you. But beyond personality, there are dimensions every person needs to consider. What do you want from friendships? What do you want from intimate relationships? How do you want to structure your family? What do you want for your career? How will you use time outside your job? How will you maintain physical and mental health? These aren't rhetorical questions. You need actual answers. Because here's how motivation works. Your dopaminergic incentive reward system produces positive emotion when it can see you moving toward a valued goal. The implication? You better have a valued goal, or you can't access positive motivation. You'll just be pushing through on willpower alone, which is exhausting and unsustainable. Let me share something learned the hard way. When his health collapsed, everything fell apart because everything he was doing was difficult. His clinical practice was difficult, his professorial work was difficult, running his company was difficult, writing was difficult, lecturing was difficult. All of it was high intensity, and he'd built his entire life around high-intensity activities. When he suddenly couldn't operate at that intensity level, he had nothing to fall back on. It was like trying to jump into a car going 200 miles an hour. He couldn't do it. And he realized, in retrospect, that it would have been better to develop a wider variety of skills at different intensity levels. Some leisure activities, some things he was good at that weren't so demanding. Music, perhaps. Things he could do even when he wasn't at peak capacity. This is a crucial lesson. Don't build your entire life at maximum difficulty. Leave yourself room to operate when things get hard, because things will get hard. Diversify your capabilities. Have some areas of competence that you can access even on your worst days. Finally, let's talk about truth and virtue. One consistent trait among highly successful people is a commitment to living truthfully. You can get remarkably far by being honest. This doesn't mean blunt or socially careless honesty. It means aligning your words with reality, admitting when you're wrong, acknowledging what you don't know, and speaking accurately even when it's uncomfortable. Living truthfully also means confronting your own past, reviewing your history carefully and taking responsibility for what you did wrong and what you failed to do right. Does that change the world? Potentially, depending on how thoroughly you do it. Fully owning your past frees you from denial and self-deception and allows you to move forward without unnecessary psychological weight. The answer to how you pay for past sins isn't self-destruction, it's the minimum necessary correction. Hit nothing harder than it needs to be hit. Apply only the force required to fix the problem. Then move forward. So here's what we've covered. Compare yourself only to who you were yesterday. Take on problems worth solving. Make your success criteria clear, even though it means you'll see every failure. Create an imperfect plan and iterate. Focus on physical health, relationship networks, and living truthfully. Understand what motivates you specifically, and diversify your capabilities so you're not fragile when life gets difficult. This isn't the life advice that feels good in the moment. It's the life advice that works. It's the difference between drifting through life, reacting to whatever happens, and actively building a life you don't need to escape from. If you haven't subscribed yet, this is the perfect moment. Hit that subscribe button because we consistently break down complex ideas into actionable strategies. And go ahead and leave a like if this video challenged your thinking or gave you something concrete to work with. Finally, check out the next video on your screen. We're diving deeper into related topics that will help you continue building the life you actually want, rather than the one you're settling for. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.